I wonder if we're actually listening to the things that are being said right now, out loud, whether it's by politicians, think tanks, one of the many orgs or foundations, United Nations, World Economic Forum, Google, Amazon, doesn't matter, Oracle, Elon Musk, doesn't matter. Are we actually listening to the things that Larry Ellison is saying? Are we listening to the things that these bona fide evil pieces of shit are saying that work for any number of these, any one of these many institutions and orgs and just dens of evil? I don't know if we're actually listening to them, because there's a difference between hearing and listening. Hearing, you're just perceiving words. You're perceiving sound. You're taking note that there is sound around you. There's mouth noise being made. But listening, you're listening to the words and you're taking them into you, and you are considering the implications of what's being said. And if we were actually listening to what was being said, I have to believe, I just have to, that we would be taking action. We would actually find a way to come together as a people, at least in our respective countries, to take action against these people, because there's so few of them compared to the number of us. So I can't believe that we're actually listening. I think we hear. I think that it's infotainment for many. I think it's, the next day of infotainment, the next day of infotainment, and what are they going to say next, and what are they going to do next? And it's just, oh my God, the outrage. But is it really are we really actually listening to them? Because it's your future, it's my future, it's your children's future, it's the unborn generations of each country's future at stake. It's the future of humanity at stake. When you listen to what these evil, pedophilic, monstrous, warmongering motherfuckers are saying, it's pure evil. So when you listen to evil, and then you look around and you're like, oh fuck, they're actually taking action upon the things that they're saying. They're putting into place the things that they're talking about out loud, or they're writing about in their books, or their pamphlets, or their fucking progress reports. They're actually putting these things into action. So are we listening? Because when you hear them say that we're just going to geo-engineer humans to not like this, that, or the other thing in order to help the earth stop climate change, stop global warming, another one of their fucking communist lies. It's just global communism. You have The Global Revolution, that book written by the Club of Rome, where they outright admit, in thinking of an enemy that can unite the people, we find that, this is paraphrasing, we find that making the people the enemy themselves is the best suited tool to accomplish what we need. So we're going to tell humanity that, hey, you're the fucking problem. You need to police yourself. You need to stop eating. You need to stop breeding. You need to stop moving around. You need to be in a stack and pack apartment, eating synthetic bug juice and living on your AI headset, because you're the problem. You're a carbon-based life form. And all of these plants behind me and all the plants around me, they're all carbon-based life forms. And don't think about that. Carbon is destroying the earth, right? They said it out loud. They wrote this shit down. They said that they're going to unite humanity against itself. And people believe it. And so now they're talking about actually geoengineering humans at the DNA level to not like certain things. And not only not like them, but to get sick from them. You have Yuval Harari talking about hackable humans. No more free will. No such thing as free will. That's an old idea. Talking about just jacking up the price of flights, like they're already not astronomical, jacking up the price of flights to discourage people from flying and to lessen the number of flights because of climate change. To jack up the price of goods that are transported by air to help with climate change. Whenever you hear the words peace and sustainable, you know that we have evil among us. The evil is being spoken to you in nice flowery language, but we're not listening. I can't believe that we're actually listening, because when I hear myself personally, when I hear these people, these fucking demons speak, instantly I have this rage inside of me that wishes I could just put my hands around their neck and squeeze the evil life out of them. And the same phrases always come up when I hear Larry Ellison speak, or Yuval Harari speak, or Tony Blair, or Trump, or Putin, or Zelensky, or you name the motherfucker. When I hear them speak and I hear the things they say, it's the same phrases come to mind every time. Fuck you. Who the fuck are you to think that you can even talk like that, let alone put these things into play to where you're taking freedom and freedom of choice and freedom of association from human beings? It's this rage, this ancestral Western rage that comes upon me, that wants to be free and wants to be left alone when I hear people speak like this, because I listen to the words and I know the implications of the words. And I've paid attention for the last 20 years, so I observed and I've seen the change of humanity. I've seen humanity be devolved to such a disgusting, embarrassing level that it's hard to even be around groups of people. The obesity, the crayon-colored hair, the septum piercings, the sports talk, the political talk, the celebrity talk. Humans have been dumbed down to a degree that it's just hard to even be around them. But still, I love humanity deeply, and I want us to remain human. I have no interest in the transhumanist agenda. I have no interest in digital ID or convenience or anything like that. If I could take humanity and just wrap it up and hurl it back to centuries ago, before any of this technology was even thought of, prior to the next reset, because I believe this technology's been around and they just slowly reintroduce it to the next devolved people after a reset. I would love to have lived in a time right at the beginning of another reset. But no, we're here. And you always hear that phrase, oh, well, you're here at this time for a reason. Yeah, well, maybe so. Maybe so. Doesn't negate the fact that what's taking place and watching where humanity is going. And I do believe it's because we're not listening. I believe a lot of people are hearing, but I don't think a lot of people are actually listening, because how could you not take action as a parent? If you're a parent in 2025 and you hear the words that these people are saying, what they've done with education, what they want to do with food, what they're doing with food, what they want to take away for the future, if you hear these things, how are you not switching to the active listening stage and taking into account and thinking, holy fuck, this is my child's future. There's no way we can let this happen. And then talking to other parents and then making sure that it doesn't happen. Another Irish girl was raped, and you have tens of thousands of Irishmen in the streets again. In that situation, this is a listening and versus hearing. Have you not listened to what these people have said? They have said they will not stop bringing in these foreign populations until Europeans are no longer, not only a majority, but no longer in existence. They have said these things out loud to you. They are in the Torah and the Talmud. They are their belief system. With the Quran, it's spread by conquest. What does the word conquest mean? Do you listen to these imams when they're speaking? Do you listen to these Muslims when they're speaking? They tell you. When these rabbis speak about Amalek, do you not listen to the words they're saying? They are telling you, our Messiah can't come back until you no longer exist, until even your memory is no longer in existence in this realm. Are we not listening to what they're saying? Because we can look around and we see that they are actually acting upon the things they're saying. I just don't think we're listening. Listening is active. Hearing is hearing is nothing. Oh, there's sounds. These people tell us what they're doing. They tell us what they want to do. They tell us what they're going to do. And they do them. But I have to believe in my heart, if people would just fucking listen, we might actually take action. We might actually come together and form some sort of resistance. But who knows, you know? I don't want to say I'm black-pilled, because I know humanity is very resilient. The fact that we're even still here after all of these resets, the fact that we're still here being poisoned by the air, food, and water, the fact that we're still here after the carcinogens and the foreign DNA that have been pumped into all of us, unless we had very conscious parents at a young age. The fact that we're still here through all of this, the fact that so many of us can still be connected directly to God and understand that we don't need intermediaries via the church or the government, for fuck's sake. Man, I know humanity is resilient, and I know there's going to be a small group that will always be here. But for God's sake, can we not just take a chance and fucking listen, rather than just treating all this as infotainment? And then what's the response to that? If you're listening to what these people are saying, that you will be, let's just go over it real quick, right? Track and trace, data-based, social credit system, carbon footprint, 15-minute city, eating synthetic food, only going to see beautiful nature via artificial intelligence through glasses or Neuralink type of technology. They will take away all of this from us, all of it. In the future, it will be gone. The only way you will be able to see Yosemite, the only way you'll be able to see Yellowstone, the only way you'll be able to see any of these famous area, Glacier, Crater Lake, whatever, Glacier National Park, is through a fucking lens. We will all be forced into these 15-minute city stack and packs. That is their end goal, with absolutely zero European blood on this earth. This is another thing people need to understand. We are only 7% maybe of the world population. Only 7%. We are the minority of this realm, of this world. And the fact that people, oh, but there's minorities in England, there's minorities in North America, there's minorities in Europe. No, there's billions of Indians, there's billions of Chinese, right? There's billions of Latinos and Latinas. There's only 7% of the world population that is European. 7%. We are the world minority, and we are the most hated people on earth. We're the only ones that you can disparage, attack, rape, murder, rob, steal from, and invade their land with no consequence. Christians are the only people. You can burn their churches, you can genocide them, which is what they're doing in African countries right now. You can destroy all the churches, you can turn the churches into mosques. Not a peep. Amalek must be destroyed for their Messiah to come back. What does that tell you? They won't stop until we are not only 7%, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, until we are gone. Are you listening to what they're saying? And if you're a parent, how are you not acting? How many instances of murder, rape, assault, theft have to take place upon the children of the West before the parents of the West actually listen that this is all by design? I don't know. I don't think we listen very well as a people. I think we've been so dumbed down that we can't listen as a people. I think we hear. I think we love entertainment. I think we love to be outraged. I think we love to divide ourselves and to talk shit. But until we listen, how can anything change? How could you not be outraged by hearing the things that these motherfuckers are saying? How could you not be outraged? Last time I was here, there was actually, it was very sad. I don't even know how it happened, but it was a horse. And their rib cage and their pelvis and their legs were all scattered about right here. There's wild horses all over this area. It's very beautiful, actually. But I don't know how that would have happened and who would have taken its head. So somebody came and sawed the head off and removed all the hair and everything, and that horse's head is in somebody's wall somewhere. But I don't know. I think, like I talked about in my last video, we have a whole lot of nice people that are able to hear, but we have so few good people that actually listen. It's hard, it's hard not to get black-pilled, but I won't allow that to happen. The COVID years really took my hope in humanity and just drug it through the mud, and it's still there. Because the worst part about those years is that people just want to forget the way they behaved. And there's a great meme that goes around Instagram and other places, right? That says, the way you behaved during the COVID years is exactly who you are in your heart. So how you treated people, the things you said about people, how you behaved, how you followed all orders, right? Whatever mommy and daddy government said, without any question, without any critical thinking, how you were so quick, how people were so quick to, you're a mommy killer, you're a grandma killer, you're a baby killer, I hope you lose everything, I hope you go to jail, I hope you lose your business. All of these things, so many of you out there talked like that and thought like that. I know, because during those years I was on the other side of it. I had to prepare myself for a fight anytime I went into a store. I had to prepare myself anytime I was doing my job because I didn't partake in the ritual. And so being the only person in whatever place I was fighting with you all the time. And when that all ended, I listened to this great video, this woman speaking. The hardest part about all of this is going back to just pretending that it didn't happen, because the people that behaved that way, they just wanted to forget it. Oh, we didn't say those things. We didn't act that way. We didn't wish the worst upon you. We don't care that you couldn't see your grandparents as they withered away by themselves in a nursing home. We don't care that the hospitals were lying 24/7 about their capacity and what they were putting on death certificates. We don't care about all the evidence that came out about falsifying death certificates. We don't care about all the evidence that came out that people were being put on end-of-life drugs, remdesivir, that people were being put on ventilators for no fucking reason, and they were being flooded, their lungs were being blown out. We don't care about any of that. We just want to forget it. It was just a hard time for everybody. Let's hug and keep going forward. That's the hardest part about what took place during those years. Because we have to be amongst the people that thought like that, right? We have to rub shoulders with people that wished us to be in jail. And so, yeah, during that time, my hope for humanity was thrown deep into the mud. And it's still, my hope is still very stained and dirty, but it's there. Because I have to think at some point there's going to be a fight in the war of the mind, right? In the consciousness. Because that's where it has to be. Because with their technology and the weaponry they don't have, we can't sit there and say that, our 9mm and our Colt 45s and our semi-automatics and all of this shit stands a chance to the state. And the weapons that they have that they don't even tell us about. They have fucking frequency weapons. They can sit above us in helicopters, in war jets, and whatever. They could be above us and they can just shoot frequencies down and make it to where we want to kill ourselves because the pain is so bad. And so you can watch them do this in the Middle East where they shoot frequencies and the people come running out of buildings and it feels like their skin's on fire. And then they just start picking them off and laughing about it. We don't stand a chance against stuff like that. And that's a fact. That's not, oh, you don't know what's going on in the country of this, in the United States and how many weapons we have. I do. I worked in the countryside. I've talked to the people there. I know what we have here. But the change has to be in the heart. The change has to be in the mind. It has to be a change of consciousness, an understanding that there is no such thing as man-made authority. That's where it has to come from. Do you want to live a life where you're just constantly battling and fighting and looking over your shoulder? Or do you want to get to a place of actual freedom? Because actual freedom requires a change in consciousness, not a big gun that you're constantly having to make sure functions correctly. If we could all just change the way we think and understand the truth of this reality, and that we're all directly connected to God, and we are sovereign spiritual beings, and that no one, regardless of what they claim, has the right to tell us how to live our lives. Guess what? This place becomes a paradise overnight. Yeah, we'll always have petty squabbles, but overall this place will be a fucking paradise. And humanity, once again, could maybe flourish. And that's what we need. But back to the very beginning, just to circle around so I can turn this off and just go walk in the sun for a bit. We're never going to get to that point unless we understand the difference between a good person and a nice person, and if we don't understand the difference between listening and hearing. We need to listen to the things these people are saying that they want to do to humanity, and we need to take them in and take them to heart because they're acting upon them. They are actually taking action to get these things accomplished. So what are we doing? Are we just waiting for today's Tuesday, so maybe on Wednesday they'll say something else that can outrage me, and then I can go to sleep and I can think about it and go and do the same outrage on Thursday? Or do we want to actually listen and think and introspect and see what am I possibly doing that could contribute to this world of enslavement? Or what can I do that can maybe help stop it so my children and grandchildren and great grandchildren can remain human, that we're not merging with machines, that we're not living in a track and trace 15-minute city eating synthetic bug juice, living with an AI headset on. What can I do? Well, one, you got to start listening. And two, you have to introspect. And you have to understand the difference between being good and being nice. And in my last video, I described what a good person is. I'm not going to do it again here. I'm going to go ahead and turn this thing off. I wanted it to stay under 20 minutes, but that's okay. But anyway, wherever you are, as always, take care of yourself. And if you have remained human through all of this, with all of my heart, thank you. I love you, wherever you are. You are my brother, you are my sister. There's much gratitude for you and the strength that you have to remain human in the face of all of this. But we need to start listening, and we need to start acting upon what's being said out loud, because the future of humanity is not hypothetical. We are walking straight into it because we're not listening and we're not acting upon the words that are being said. But anyway, take care of yourself. Never behind.